Hi, I'm Ellen Meister, and I'm the author of The Smart One, which is here. If I can get that on camera. I know, very professional, right? The Smart One, and also Secret Confessions of the Applewood PTA. Today I'm going to read from Secret Confessions of the Applewood PTA. Just a couple of words, though, on how I come to choose which section of a book I'm going to read from. When you do a reading to an audience who hasn't read the book, there's a couple of things you have to take into consideration. First and foremost, you can't read a scene with a lot of characters because it becomes very hard to follow. Another consideration is that, of course, you can't read a scene with spoilers, and of course I don't want to read a scene that's too risque. I used to read, when I did readings, I used to like to try to find a very funny section from this book to read. The problem with that is that most of the humorous sections are very, very long, and I don't like to go on and on for 20 minutes or so. 2 or 3 minutes I think is a lot to sit and listen to someone read. So I found a section in this book that seems to work on its own, although I X'd out and skip over a few sections when I'm reading it. But it's not one of the funny sections, it's one of the very tender sections. But I think that there's something to be said for that too, to sort of show people that a humorous book could also have some poignant moments in it. I also like to point out about this particular scene that I'm going to read to you. While it's a fictional scene, the emotional story is based on something very real. And that was the moment in my life, a very discrete moment with each of my 3 children when I actually fell in love. And it's such a unique and such a special moment that it was something that I really wanted to capture in my fiction. So that's what I'm going to read to you. And I think the only thing you really need to know here is that the protagonist in this scene is Lisa, her husband is Adam, and that's it. I'm going to give this a go. "It's a girl," the doctor said, as she pulled Sarah's slithery pink body from Lisa. She quickly suctioned the baby's nose and mouth and held her up for Lisa and Adam to see. "Your daughter." A gulp of wind hit Lisa's throat. She looked at the living, breathing, wailing creature and was slapped by a reality as new to her as oxygen to the baby's lungs. She was stunned, not by the baby's gender, but by its very existence. There she was, facing the very moment she had spent so many months preparing for, and yet she felt as surprised as if she had opened her eyes to discover the world in color for the first time. Later, when the new mother was wheeled to her room and the baby was taken to the nursery, Adam told Lisa she should get some rest. Lisa fell into a deep, dreamless sleep for several hours. She awoke to a pulsating pain in her crotch and looked up to see Adam back in her room. He sat in a chair holding his new daughter. "Are we calling her Sarah?" Adam asked. "Sarah Elizabeth," Lisa pronounced. "Sarah," Adam said, looking at the baby. "You're Sarah." That night, after her visitors had left and Adam had gone home, Lisa complained to a kind nurse named Maureen about her discomfort. She gave Lisa a fresh ice pack to put on her episiotomy and asked the new mother if she wanted her to take the baby to the nursery for a few hours, so you could get some sleep, Maureen said. Lisa bit her lip. "I don't know, I'm breastfeeding." "It's okay, I'll bring her back in a few hours." Lisa nodded. She was as tired as she'd ever felt and was glad to be relieved of the responsibility for a few hours. As she listened to the sound of her baby's bassinet being wheeled toward the nursery, Lisa fell into a deep sleep. There began a dream. Adam telling her something about new software he had created, a wonderful, glorious, revolutionary product. He was excited to show it to her in action, and led her toward a building where a company was using it to multiply profits beyond imagining. But on the way there she lost sight of him. She came upon a factory and went inside to see if Adam was there. She found him, and the dream changed. The thing that he wanted to show her now was a beautiful melody coming from the walls of the baby's room. Or was it the baby singing? As she followed him toward the song, the dream was interrupted by a woman's voice. "Mrs. Slotnick, do you want to nurse your baby now?" Lisa didn't want to open her eyes. She wanted to drift back into the dream and find the source of the beautiful melody. She let her eyelids flutter open so that she could tell the woman to go away and let her sleep. "I need more sleep," she planned to say, but stopped. At the sight of her infant, something deep in the animal region of her brain produced a tidal force of maternal longing that drowned her intention. "I need my baby," she said, reaching for the tiny package. And as she cradled her daughter in her arms, she took a deep inhale off the top of the newborn's head and discovered the savage, feral power of motherhood. Lisa fell in love. And that's a scene from Secret Confessions of the Applewood PTA by me, Ellen Meister. Thanks. Bye.